Tibet.
Yeah.
So what happened was, Milarepa was searching for a guru. At last he found a guru, and he travels a lot of distance, and he comes to him. He surrenders everything he has at his feet, and he says, "Please save me. Do something. I want to realize myself." So the guru says, "Just trust me and do things. Trust me completely and do things." And lo, you see, he walks on the water next day.
Yeah.
And all other students come and ask him to come and tell the guru, "Oh my God, look at him. He's walking on the water." And then when he comes back, he's asking, "How did you do it? You only asked me to trust. I took your name and I trusted you, and I don't know anything." So, Guru is very smart. He says, "Let us try some more things like that. And then before we give a judgment." Okay, he takes him to the top of the cliff, asks him to jump. All of them are walking, waiting to see him, go into pieces. There, lo, he falls just under a tree in a Padmasana. Like this, it's going on. Many things. They put him into the water, tying stone. He just comes out. Like this happens. Then the guru asks, "How are you really doing it?" He said, "You asked me to trust me. I trust you 100%. He says, "Oh, it's only me. Huh? Okay." Then he falls into the water. He walks in the water. He drowns. With great difficulty, all other disciples pull him out. Then you find out what is the real trick was the trust. The trust makes it happen. Yes. It is the Shraddha which works wonders. Just like how Rama, they threw the stone. One day, this Rama went to another corner and threw a stone. His stone sank. And Hanuman saw it and said, "What?" He says, "It's not working." So Hanuman says, "It is the faith you have."
It's there. It's not the words or the person.
No, nothing. It is the unconditional faith you have. So sorry for the...
No, not at all. Very wonderful, very nice stories, which really, they complement the teaching here. So, yeah, the Shraddha. And, but it's very important to put the Shraddha in the right place. Samyak Nyasa, it has to be, that is called Sannyasa, where you put your Shraddha. Samyak Nyasaha. Nyasa is the treasure. Nyasa means a treasure. Samyak, you have to put your treasure of your whole faculties. It has to be given to the right person. Otherwise, it can go wrong. They can mislead you. That is why the words of the Shrutis and the Smrutis are called Aptavakyas. Aptavakya. You just, they are so dear to you. They are so trustworthy that you can follow them. That is why the Bhagavad Gita is an Aptavakya. It's coming from God. Simple way to understand Aptavakya is, when we are born, we are so innocent. The mother, we know instinctively, this is my mom. But the father, we have no clue. But we take the Aptavakya of the mother when she says, "This is your father." That's simple. So this is how easily we need to accept, or how with great trust we need to accept the words of Bhagavan. So when he says Tat Tvam Asi, why aren't we accepting that? It is an Aptavakya. But we are, that Maya is so great that it's so difficult for us to just take that Aptavakya easily. That is why 18 chapters. Otherwise, the Gita would have been over in the second chapter, isn't it? Don't cry, you are the immortal soul. Finish. No, because we don't have that quality in us. That is why all the Shama, Dhamma, Titiksha, Uparati, Shraddha, Samadhana, all these things we need to develop before we come into the teaching of Vedanta. See, hundreds, thousands, millions of people have been chanting the Gita, have understood intellectually all the teachings of the Gita. Yet, why are we still in samsara? Why do we still suffer? Why are we, still deluded? That is because we have the knowledge, but the ground has not been prepared, which is what called the Shat Sampatis, the Chatush sadhana chatushtaya, which is very, very important for a seeker, isn't it? So we all know what the sadhana chatushtaya are: viveka, vairagya, shama, damadi, shat sampatti, mumukshutva. Viveka, we should have the discretion to know right from wrong, which is a lifelong project. It doesn't come in one day. These faculties have to be deployed at every moment of time in our ordinary life, not only spiritual life. Only when we have these faculties, because this is what is the spiritual gym, what the life we have is a spiritual gym where you have to exercise all these muscles. Viveka, vairagya to choose the shreyas over the preyas. What is good for me over what is desirable to me. The shreyas over preyas. Viveka, vairagya. Shama, damadi, shat sampatti. The 6 treasures, shat sampatti. They are the most difficult, The shama, damadi, shat sampatti are shama, dama, titiksha, uparati, shraddha, samadhana, all these. I mean, there's a lot of things. So these things we have to develop. And then mumukshutva, to keep that fire burning within us. That mumukshutva, that seeking, that seeker's fire has to be, it is easy to just give up. It's easy to, oh yeah, I like, it's nice to listen, but to continue that thing is very difficult. To be on the path takes a lot of, that interest has to be, that it has to be kept burning. That is why, like every day you brush your teeth, we need to do this every day. It has to become a part of us. You do some things, and Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasana, in some form or other, we keep doing this. Only then the fire will keep burning within us. So, yeah, these are some of the things that a seeker has to develop for the jnana to go inside neatly and, to get established in the jnana. So that was the Arjuna's Vishada, which stems from the fatal mistake that we do, fatal and tragic mistake that, I am the body, I am the mind, I am the intellect, and everything is happening to me. And from there, the drama of human existence proceeds. Okay. And the second one is Bhagavan Uvacha. What we did was Ashocyan Anvashoshastam Tvam Prajnavadamscha Bhashase Gatasun Agatasunscha Nanu Shoshanti Panditaha. Isn't it? So what is the takeaway from this? Any one point, that we can share? Again, I'm going to the wrong one.
The wise people, they don't bother.
Yes.
About, unnecessary things.
Yeah.
So these people are going to die, what? And that anybody who's born is going to die.
Correct.
It is a routine which is happening.
Yeah.
You don't give over importance to it.
Yeah. But
you follow your duty. Your duty as a Kshatriya is to fight. That's all.
No, but how can you fight without knowing the basis of why should I fight, Anta? See, all the other 18 Akshahini Sainyas, they're all fighting. They're not questioning. But this guy is questioning. Arjuna is questioning. Why do you think Arjuna is questioning? And why the others are just fighting and doing their duty? There is something special about Arjuna, isn't it?
Yeah, but he has been, his moha, his raga, his moha has been kindled by Krishna by putting him exactly at the spot. His soft corner is this Bhishma and Drona, his teacher. How can he kill them?
No,
he is so indebted to them.
Yeah, that's fine, Nirmala ji. Everyone is there because of moha only. Duryodhana is there because of moha, because he wants the kingdom for himself, isn't it? So it is just that everyone, all human beings have this moha, raga, dvesha and everything. But this guy is a little more evolved. He's questioning. See, the moment we start questioning what's happening, that is when we start evolving now. Yes. Otherwise, you blindly go on with whatever, go with the flow kind of thing. That's also fine, but you won't go far. So this guy is delving deep into his own emotions, and he's in a good position to take the advice from Krishna.
Yes.
See, everyone is there. 18 Akshohini Sainyas, every soldier bound by duty. He's my Raja, I have to fight, I'm a soldier, I have to earn for my family. All of us have got several excuses to do whatever things we are doing. But this fellow had that spark to understand what's happening here. Why should I kill them? So only when we start asking questions, we get answers. No? Otherwise, if we hadn't had this, everyone has raga, dvesha, moha. All of us, mamakara, ahankara. Ahankara, I, me, myself, I am right. Duryodhana. Mamakara, Arjuna, my children, my uncle, my this thing, my that. So, but this guy he had that because he's, after all, an evolved soul. So he had this thing to ask the
He had the luck to have God on his side to be able to
grace.
advise.
It's not luck, ma. Luck is there, Nirmala ji. Luck is definitely there. But he was on the side of Dharma. See, that is the conditions apply. Even for luck. Right? So even for luck, even for everything, conditions apply. What is the condition? You be on the side of Dharma. I'll be with you. Isn't it? So
Bhishma didn't have, Drona didn't have that luck.
they were on the side of Adharma, right?
Yes.
They were bound by duty and they were not thinking out of the box.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So that was their problem. They were just very narrow, like a horse. So we are much better than animals. We need to think. If somebody says today, gives me a churi and says, okay, you kill someone, for whatever reason, I wouldn't do it. I will have to ask. So that was a problem with all the Bhishma, Drona, Krupa.
But the real luck was when Arjuna chose Krishna to all his army, Narayana Sena. He
chose Krishna over the Narayani Sena. That was when he chose Dharma and he chose the right path. You are very right. That is when Duryodhana and Arjuna, the clear picture was there. Who is going to get the benefit of Krishna's teachings? Yes, very correct.
I am so sorry. I have a question.
Yes, of course.
So, why did among all the other Pandavas and the other people on the side of the Dharma, especially the Pandavas, why was Arjuna chosen by Krishna? From the beginning, Arjuna and Krishna have been very close friends. I mean, but why was Arjuna the chosen one as compared to, say, Dharmaraya?
That is, they are twins. They are Nara Narayana.
Narayana. Arjuna is a little more evolved from all the other. Actually, Bhima he was much more evolved than Arjuna. Probably he didn't need the teaching. It is said Bhima was extremely evolved and he was complete surrender, like Hanumanta. He had complete bhakti. And he knew whatever God says, I will fight. That was that kind of attitude Bhima had. Yudhishthira was a little less only, actually. He was very proud that he was on the side of, he's a Dharma Raya and I'm doing all the right things and that kind of, he was okay, but Arjuna, yes, was more evolved.
Anybody knows the story of Bhima?
Let's not, yeah, I know it will be nice, but it's a little bit of a digression here.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. So this, Supreme Personality of Godhead, he said, while speaking learned words, you are mourning for what is not worthy of grief. Those who are wise lament neither for those who are gone, nor for those who have not yet gone. So with this shloka, Krishna is giving the straight full dose of, jnana. Complete, extreme, total, ultimate jnana is being given to Arjuna over here from this shloka. How does Arjuna take it? He's still confused. He said, oh my God, what's happening? He's come from a very, very, this space and that space that now Krishna has to fill the gap. He has to fill in all the details here after this. So, yeah. So
Arjuna touched the Nadir. Now he has to rise.
Correct. Arjuna is flowing and now he has to rise. Very correct. And so in the middle of all this, let us remember that Shri Krishna, well, Arjuna is so much troubled and he's crying and howling and all that. Shri Krishna is smiling, calm. Even when he is giving the greatest teaching, or when he's scolding Arjuna, apparently he's always calm, smiling, mandasmita. There's one more shloka which comes in the beginning of this chapter, Sankhya Yoga, where Arjuna has got a light smile on his, Krishna has got a light smile on his lips while he's giving this whole Gita. And that is depicted in all the paintings that we have, you know. The Krishna is always smiling, you know, little small smile. And Arjuna is, you know, so that is the quality of the Atma, Sat Chit Ananda, always in bliss, nirvikara, nirvikalpa. You know, there are no modifications in that state of bliss is always cherished and always maintained. So beautiful. I mean, that is us, that is not Krishna, that's all of us. How wonderful if we can realize that state, when he can maintain that smile, you know, all the time. It's so beautiful. That metaphoric, that significance of Krishna's smile is so beautiful, isn't it?
Rishikesha Prahasanniva Bharata.
Exactly. That is the Prahasanniva Bharata. Sanjaya is telling Dashara, the Dhritarashtra. No, with a light smile, Krishna is talking to Arjuna. And this is what he's saying. The greatest jnana is coming. So Bhagavad Gita 2.12, I think we have to do this, right?
When you are in harmony and in balance, there will be a cool smile.
So for that's the whole struggle of life. Natvevaham jatu nasam, natvam neme janadhipaha, na chaiva na bhavishyamaha, sarve vayamatah param. I think I took some other tune. It doesn't matter. You guys want to chant, you go ahead, or we can straight away go to the Artha. You want to chant, anyone?
Sneha will chant, then I'll chant.
Chant, Sneha.
नत्वेवाहं जातु नासं न त्वं नेमे जनाधिपाः न चैव न भविष्यामः सर्वे वयमतः परम्
नत्वेवाहं जातु नासं न त्वं नेमे जनाधिपाः न चैव न भविष्यामः सर्वे वयमतः परम्.
Yes. Okay, so
I will chant.
yeah, please carry on, Pratibhaji.
Natvevahan jatu nasam natvanne me janadipaha na chaiva na bhavishyamaha sarve vayamatah param.
Yes. So we are happily chanting this, but this is it's such a potent shloka. Look at what it is saying. Amazing thing. Never was there a time when I did not exist, nor you, nor all these kings, and nor will they cease to exist in the future. I mean, how mind-blowing this is. Huh? He's saying, what are you saying? You are not dead, I am not dead. You were always there, I was always there, all these kings were always there. Nobody is dead. I mean, it is it's so difficult to get a handle on, isn't it? Just when we don't have the background, this sounds like some bombastic claim which has no basis, isn't it? It's a fantastic shloka, which is, one has to dwell on it to really get to the root of it. So never was there a time when I did not exist, nor you, nor all these kings, nor in the future shall any of us cease to be. Because all we can see is the body, which is always coming and going, and viparinamate, vishiriyate, isn't it? Jayate, vardhate, the body is born, the vardhate, the body grows, viparinamate, it changes, vishiriyate, it deteriorates, and then it goes. The last one is something. So this is the only truth we know so far. This is the only truth we know. So if you can share your contemplation, each of you, on this, it will be very nice. If you have done, yes, please carry on.
So this is the talks about the theory of reincarnation or the karma theory,
Yes.
that the body dies,
Yes.
but the spirit embodies itself in different bodies and undergoes a lot of seasoning
Yes.
before it reaches the ultimate truth.
Correct.
Ultimate.
Yes, perfect. This is the starting of this, the jnana of the reincarnation. Yes. Anyone else?
The matter is never destroyed. It is only the change of form. Just like how from seed, plant grows, a tree grows,
Yes.
and then it flowers, fruits, and then it dies, decays,
And
again
recycled. Yes.
recycled. It is the whole body, whole thing is all recycled only.
Yes.
It was there. I was not there 65 years ago.
Correct.
I will not be there 15 years or 20 years ago or 20 years later.
Yeah.
But the soul continues.
Correct.
It is only the body which dies and changes.
Yeah. Yes. Anyone else? Very nice, Nirmalaji. Perfectly said. Yes, Kamala.
Yeah, I have a doubt here.
Mhm.
So here Bhagavan is saying that the Jiva is conditioned with the body, mind and intellect, and the Atma is eternal. And just like how I was there, I'll be there, and just like how you were there, you are there, and you will be there. So does it mean that though we feel the oneness in everything, we always remain as a reflected consciousness?
The only difference is Krishna knows how many avatars he took, what all he did. We as humans, अरे कल क्या खाया याद नहीं रहता है.
Yeah, here Krishna is speaking from the absolute standpoint. I and you are the same. He is talking from his, there are two viewpoints to anything, one from the Jivatma point of view and from the God's point of view.
Yeah.
So in this shloka, he is speaking from the absolute point of view. I and you are the same. My ground and your ground are the same. We are both Sat Chit Ananda. In the sense of beyond the body-mind complex, we are both the same. That is what Krishna is saying in this shloka. Whereas the rest of us look at it from the Jivatma point of view. Is that what you are asking, Kamlaji?
No. So ultimately, the salvation means becoming one with the God, right? So what is happening after we take birth? After birth, at one point of time, we will become realized and become one with God. Is it not? So when he says that we both are going to exist in future also, so that merging is not happening.
Merging is happening in the understanding. See, the drama will go on. See, even after you realize, for example, just yesterday, Prabhuji was sharing a beautiful example to bring this point home. When Karna is getting ready for war, Kunti goes and tells him, no, she begs for the life of her Pandavas. She tells Karna, see, until then, Karna is thinking he's a Sutaputra. And he's under this thing of Duryodhana, Namak Halal. I have to be under his this thing, obligation of Karna. And he's got a inferiority complex. Karna has got an inferiority complex. Though he is a wonderful warrior with the Vajra Kavacha and the Kamandala and the Surya, this thing, everything. He's endowed with everything, but he doesn't know his real birth, the story of his real birth. He has no idea. Until Kunti comes and tells him, you are actually not a Sutaputra, you are my son, you are my eldest son, you are a Kshatriya, you are a Pandava. The moment he comes to know that he is not this, he is not Radheya, he is Kaunteya, the transformation is internal. Karna, nothing changes in his physical form, isn't it? But his attitude, he completely, as if he sits up straight. Oh, I'm a Kshatriya. And then he's in a position of power. He's in a position of, he's in control now. Yes, he said, okay, so anyway, you are called Pandavas, Pancha Pandavas. Okay, you will have 5 children. I'll kill one of them. He is in a position of control now. His entire attitude changes, you know. That is what happens with jnana. Nothing physically, nothing changes. Externally, nothing changes. Our life situations will not change. All that, the laws of physics will apply. Janma, Marana, Mrityu, everything is there. But internal understanding is what changes us internally. Our attitude, from suddenly from Arjuna's viewpoint, we turn to Krishna's viewpoint. I was never born, I was never dead as Sachidananda. But as a body-mind complex, I am born and I will die. But in my understanding, I know that all this is a drama, all this is a change of, like water changes into vapor, ice, you know, and all that. The water is always there. Even if I'm a wave, I'm water. Even I'm a vapor, I'm water. Even if I'm a bubble, I'm water. That knowledge will always be established in that knowledge. That is the difference that happens. That's all.
Okay.
Anyone else understanding of this shloka you wanted to share?
I will tell you.
Yes, madam.
As in this body, the embodied soul passes through infancy, youth, and old age. Even so, it passes on to another body at death. A sober person is not bewildered by such change.
I think we are doing the previous shloka, Pratibhaji, 2.12.
13th one.
No, we are doing 2.12. Isn't it?
Oh, yes, yes.
Never mind, it's okay. Nirmala ji, any sound bites on this? Padmaja, you haven't spoken at all.
I think that everybody has spoken on this more or less. I think it's the same thing. So
Same thing?
yeah, we are looking at the body. It though it changes, the eternal, the soul, it keeps. So it was there before, it is there now, it will be there afterwards. So it's basically the reincarnation, as Neha said.
Excellent. So this one, if we understand this one shloka, this is a solution to all our fears. What is our fear? Death is the eternal fear that we all have. That I cease to exist someday in this form. That is the fear we have, isn't it? That our loved ones will cease to exist in the form that we are used to. That is the fear. But deep down inside, we know that we are immortal. That knowledge is always there. So that is why we don't want to die. See, why don't we want to cease to exist? Because we know we are immortal. We know that is the Yaksha Prashna that Yudhishthira also answers. It is the greatest wonder that we all know at one level that people are going to die. You know, that what is the Jatasya Maranam Dhruvam. The one who is born is going to die. Yet, I don't want to die. Why is that? Because we know that we are immortal. I know that I am Sachidananda, that I cannot perish. But how, I don't know. I know there is one truth, but how, in what sense I am not going to die, that I need to know. That is the teaching, isn't it? So in this shloka, Krishna is giving that ultimate knowledge of how. So this fear is
there is one thing in this one sentence. I am the body. There are two characters. One is the changeless, one is the changing.
Absolutely.
The changing has certain features. Changeless has certain features.
Correct.
But what we are doing is introducing the what is changeless into change and changing into changeless.
Correct. Correct.
In the heart of hearts, we know we are not going to die is because I know I am the soul. I am that. I am the changeless one.
Correct.
But I am putting it on this body. The body doesn't have the feature that it is going to be changeless.
The body is jada. It has got nothing. I mean,
it is
like
going to change. It is going to change. So the intermixing of the thing is what is causing the problem.
Yes,
you stick to being a soul, fine. You stick to being a body, fine.
Yeah.
But don't take the qualities of body.
Correct. And also in this one shloka, Krishna is it's giving us hope. In the sense that the central teaching of every religion is that something survives after death. See, if something doesn't survive after the death of the body, what is the need for any religion? You tell me. Why should we have a God? Why should we have a moral life? Why should we lead a dharmic life? So every religion in the world, whatever it is, you take it. It in some form or other, they say something survives after death. For Christians, there is an eternal life. And for the Mohammedans, there is Jannat, where everyone is living happily ever after. Even in Hindus, we have these heavens, Vaikunta, Kailasa, wherever, where you have a beautiful life, or even Indraloka, where all the damsels are dancing. So in every religion, we have something. And in Buddhism, they don't believe in God, but there is a land of the pure. They have some concept of after death, somebody goes somewhere and somebody is lives happily ever after. This is the central teaching of, this is nothing new. I mean, when people say we don't believe in rebirth and all, it is all bunkum actually. Because this is the basis on which all religions are built. That is why, there is, if you want to go to heaven, you have to believe in God, like that kind of thing, and live a dharmic life. So this is, Krishna is playing very well on this psychology of all of us, that something survives after death. What is it? He's going to tell us what is going to survive after that. And so he's telling you, yeah, you are not this body, mind, This is a very beautiful story of a wave, which I want to share. I'm sure you'll appreciate it, and you can tell your children also this story. Just imagine the huge ocean, wherever we are. We can imagine the, we are neither here nor here in the Bangalore, neither East Coast nor West Coast. So we can take any example. Say the Arabian Sea. Suppose you're in Mumbai and you are in near the Juhu beach, and the huge waves. You go on the suppose the waves are talking among themselves, and a little wave is born in that beautiful Arabian Sea, and the wave says, and it makes little friends of other little waves. Okay. I'm a wave. I belong to this beautiful ocean. There are other little waves around me, and they play around. They play. The waves play, and they sometimes they become bubbles, and they jump, and they have happily, and then they become bigger and bigger, and they start rushing towards the. And when they are little, they see other big waves. They see other small waves, and they say when they see a big wave, they become jealous. Arey, I'm so tiny. That one is such a big wave, huh? And then when they see a small wave, they become contemptuous. You are such a tiny fellow. So like this, that is how we develop these raga, the jealousy, all the Arishad Vargas, we develop like this, looking at other small waves. We are also small, tiny waves in the ocean, and we look at other tiny waves, and we develop all these qualities. And then when they're bigger, they become, at some fine day, they see that the shore is rushing towards them. They don't know they are going to the shore. The shore is rushing towards them. And they say, hey, what's happening? What's happening? Where's the rest of the water? What is happening? Then the big wave, the old, ancient, wise wave tells them, oh, that's the shore. That's where all the waves go to die. That's what happens. That's the end. When you reach the shore, you're going to die. So that is when we reach old age, we are going to die. That is our attitude. And then another wise guru wave, the wave goes to Vedanta class, Bhagavad Gita class, and he learns that actually the shore is not where you are going to die. The shore is when you come back into the ocean as your real self, as water. What you are, as a tiny little wave, you become the entire ocean. So that is the teaching that Bhagavan is giving in this shloka, that you are not a tiny wave. You are not a body, mind, intellect complex. You are the ocean itself. You are the Atman, from where all these are appearing, rising and setting. Just as a wave rises in water and goes back, that is exactly what is happening to you. And so he is there. You are always there as water. The wave is told, you are always there as water. What are you worried about? Just that you have subsided. You have not risen. That's all. So in that sense, all these things in front of you, me, myself, like Nirmala ji says, Because even the body of an avatar is perishable, Baba. Forget about you and me. It's not as if that Krishna is always going to be in his body with a, with a peacock crown on his head. He is also going to die. Even avatar is dead. The laws of karma, the physics will apply even to the body of an avatar, enlightened, Jivan Mukta, everyone. So forget about the perishable body. This nature is to perish. But we are always there. If you're like this, I like she said, I remember all my avatars. See, in one sense, you and I are same. In another sense, you and I are different because you don't remember, I remember. So all understanding is at the intellectual level. And when that intellectual understanding is stabilized in you, then you are liberated. That is when you become a Jivan Mukta. That is the central teaching here. So the body is limited by Kala, Vastu, Desha. So there's so many things to share. If we go on and on, it is, it's so beautiful. What is the limitation of the Jiva? Desha, Kala, Vastu. Desha, it is limited by space. Because when object A, when Nirmala ji is sitting here, she cannot be in Dubai. Isn't it? We are limited in space. We are limited in time. If you are here at 7:45, you cannot be elsewhere at 7:45. We are limited in time, and we have a birth date and an expiry date. We are limited in time. The body is limited in time. Desha, Kala, and Vastu, it's an object. If you are in the shape of Kamala, you cannot be in the shape of Nirmala. We are limited in so many ways. The body, the mind also is a body only, but it's a subtle body. That also has a lot of limitations. It comes with its own baggages, its own vasanas, its own teachings, what it has come, isn't it? So everything is limited by what appears and disappears is limited by Desha, Kala, and Vastu. Krishna is saying you are not that. You are beyond Desha, Kala, Vastu. You are beyond this object. You are beyond. You are Ananta. You are not limited by space or time. So that is the teaching here. So why should we know all this, by the way? Just to get out of this war? Because this is the ultimate knowledge. Buddha says, Sarvam Anityam. Everything is Anitya. The Buddha's teaching sounds very, very pessimistic. Sarvam Anityam. Everything is impermanent, Baba. Everything is appearing and disappearing. Yesterday I had black hair. Today I had white hair. Tomorrow again, if I apply this thing, I'll have black hair. Everything is Anityam. It doesn't matter it's Anityam. He adds one more thing. Everything is Kshanikam. See, Anityam is fine. I want an impermanent cookie. I don't want a permanent cookie. Or a biscuit. It'll just go bad. I don't mind if it's Anityam. But it's impermanent. It's a Kshanikam also. It's just momentary. You eat one chocolate. Again, after tomorrow, you want the same chocolate. That desire is in you. It is Kshanikam. It keeps on giving you that desire to go back to it again and again and again because it doesn't last. Sarvam Anityam, Sarvam Kshanitam. Then one more thing Buddha says, Sarvam Shunyam. Ultimately, all this is going to get you going to make you feel empty. It doesn't satisfy you at any level. That is why we are running behind Anitya. We are running behind, Kshanika. We are running behind Shunya. Ultimately, what happens? Sarvam Dukkham. Ultimately, we are in misery. So, when Buddha says these four things, we feel this Buddha, then bloody fellow is irritating me with all this. But it is not actually a negative this thing. Because beyond that, don't worry. You're not this. You're not Kshanika, you're not Anitya, you're not Shunya, you're not Dukkha, you're Sat Chit Ananda. Then comes the grand finale. You're none of this, you're that. This is the teaching that the Bhagavad Gita is giving us. So why should we know, why should we have the knowledge of the Gita? to go beyond the Kshanika, Anitya, Dukkha and Shunya. That is why we need to know the knowledge of the eternal truth that I am Brahman, I am Sachidananda Bhagavan himself. Shall we end here for the day? Because it's getting quiet. If it takes something else, it's going to go more and more. Anything people want to add, you're welcome. And then we can take up the next sloka. So many people I see online, but nobody is talking. This is not fair.
Ma'am,
Huh?
to add on, like an ice
Vinaya.
cube,
Yeah.
ice cube, an example, simple example.
Yes.
Ice cube, it will be in solid form, same, similar to a physical body. Then after sometimes, when if it's the temperature is normal, it becomes a liquid. So we can compare that to what to say, barrier or fire. After some time it becomes basma, and we don't see that physical form. So that time gaseous form, it goes in water vapor. So we can think like that.
Yes, about the physical manifestation, you have to think like that. That's the truth. Correct. But don't think that you are that. That's the problem. When you think I am becoming bhasma, I am becoming vapor. No, you are not, because you're not the body. The body is jada. Without Chaitanya, where is the jada is always jada. Things keep happening to the jada. But who is animating that jada? It's you, the Chaitanya within. Isn't it? It is the electricity which lights the bulb. The bulb can be an yellow bulb or a red bulb or a white bulb. It can be LED bulb. It can be anything bulb. But it is of no use if there is no electricity in it. You am the electricity. I am not the bulb. It doesn't matter what color I am, the electricity doesn't even know that I am lighting up a yellow bulb. The electricity is nirvikara. Wherever it will go, that's all. That is how it is. So let us not, I am not the fan, I am not the mixer, but I am the electricity which is powering all the implements in my house. So I am the Chaitanya which is powering each and every thing in manifestation. Just imagine, our buddhi is not enough to grasp this truth. it cannot. That is why it is called anirvachaniya. You cannot express in words. You cannot express. It's agochara anirvachaniya. It cannot be told, it cannot be seen. It only has to be assimilated through constant shavana, manana, nididhyasana. Nididhyasana is to be established in the truth. How do we do that? To deploy this knowledge whenever it is required in life. See, for 24 hours, I cannot go around saying, I am Krishna, I am Atma. No, I have to do my work. I have to keep doing whatever is required. But when I'm disturbed, like Arjuna, when I'm in doubt, when I'm in conflict, this knowledge has to be released. And that is from that standpoint, we have to take decisions that viveka, everything we have to deploy when it is required. Not all the time. When you have to go and cook, fine. You have to be physical. You have to think as a mother. You have to think about everyone. So that is fine. But underlying that Mandasmita has to be there of Krishna inside me all the time. I'm playing a role.
You are that Shruti. You are that Shruti in the music.
Yes. I'm that
Music will
Sapata.
be high note, low note, in between, dancing around. But I am the balanced Shruti.
Yes, that Tamburi Shruti is always there. Let me not go away from that. I have to maintain that pitch and tone. Ilandre apaswara.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So beautiful. See, all the teachings are in our daily life only. We just have to know how to look at it. That's it. No? Every moment is a teaching moment, is a learning moment. All right, we can close for the day unless anyone else want to add anything. We can close.
I have the Bhima story. I'm not going to leave. Let it go.
Yeah, please. Yes. Now we can, listen to it.
So they were climbing the Kailash after all the war. Everything was over. They were climbing the Kailash.
Yes.
And Yudhishthira and Arjuna saw big baskets of Vilva being taken. So many baskets were going to Lord Shiva. And they were trying to find out who is the person who's doing this. Bhima was doing Manasa Puja.
Abba, so beautiful. See? Lovely.
We know Bhima as a person. When the full meal came, half goes to Bhima, and the rest half is shared between Kunti and her 4 sons, and Draupadi also.
Correct.
That's all we know about Bhima. He is called Vrikodaraha, wolf-bellied. Wolf will eat a full man, but when you see his stomach, it will be caving in. So Bhima is called Vrikodaraha, wolf-bellied. It comes in Bhagavad Gita.
Very nice.
So that's how it is.
Beautiful.
We really don't know who is who. This Yudhishthira, he's saying he's such a dharmic fellow. What he did, so this, I think Janamejaya, Parikshit's son, he comes and asks, what Krishna, you said you are a great person, you are helping everybody, you are a friend of Pandava and all, you could have stopped the war. You could have stopped the war, you could have stopped everything. He said, how can I do it? Yudhishthira, I could have even come and helped. Yudhishthira, what he said, don't tell Krishna that I'm playing. Just came, no, please don't tell. Don't, please close the door. Krishna might come inside.
Ayo, very, very low understanding.
Whereas, what did Duryodhana do? Duryodhana said, I don't know the game. My mama Shakuni will pay the game. Why? Yudhishthira could have said, my Krishna will pay the game. Whereas you close the door on him.
Correct. Yeah. Very guilty conscious fellow.
Maybe I'm boring you guys too much.
No. Thank you.
Not at all.
Not at all. It's very, very interesting. And there are these little highlights, the sidelights and the highlights, they really, they give a broader understanding. Definitely.
I think we should just stick to one shloka.
Yes, nice.
So much to talk, so much to know from everyone.
Yes.
No, it is so interesting. No, Bhagavad Gita is not a heavy thing we are reading. We are enjoying along the way. Each one's explanation is so nice. I'm saying, wow.
Nirmala ji.
Actually, if you don't mind, another little anecdote about Bhima, which really appealed to me when I was watching this Mahabharata, the old-time Mahabharata that used to be aired on TV, which was recently aired last year or so. So Bhima is very engrossed in eating his laddus. And he's so engrossed. Arjuna gets so inspired by how engrossed he is, how passionate he is, how single-mindedly, how focused he is in his passion. That's when he realizes that he should apply the same intensity in his bow and arrow vidya, in learning. He was the ultimate in relishing what he's eating. Bhima. I feel that is a great quality.
To be in the present.
Yeah, he's always made fun of, he eats so many laddus and all that, but he enjoys every little morsel of it with so much love.
Correct. Beautiful. Very well. That's a wonderful way to be. Correct. Because we are always rushing to the next big thing. There is no next big thing. This is all there is. Very true, very true. So let's not rush to the next shloka. Let's enjoy the one at hand. So yeah, all of us are welcome to share whatever. If all of you are in this thing, we can share all these little anecdotes which will add a lot of life to it. Okay?
Purnimaji, you're awesome.
Are you? See,
really?
Who is me now? Should I get proud or what? No. Thank you. I understand from where you're coming from. Thank you so much. This is all because of
this platform is, you
Yeah.
will never get it anywhere. That way I meant.
absolutely this
Yes,
platform.
completely agreed. It's a wonderful way to start a weekend.
I know it's and a day also. I wish
Yes,
I could do it
yes.
every day, but
Every day, but not possible.
let's be practical.
We have
Once a week we get together and do this. It's so beautiful and refreshing, really.
Yes,
Very
energizes us.
it
correct.
energizes. It energizes.
We'll be waiting for Saturday.
Yeah. Where is your daughter? Where is your daughter, Pratibhaji?
No, she didn't get the entry, ma'am.
How ma? All of us have entered. No, there's only one gate. There's no gatekeeper. Okay, I will let her ask her to join the group. Okay.
Yes, yes, ma'am. I will post her, telephone number.
Okay.
You can join her.
And then Raina ji is an unknown entity. We want to see the name and form of name we know, form we don't know of Raina. Where is the Raina ji? Okay. Whenever she's ready, we'll look at her. All right. We close. So have a great weekend, everybody.
Thank
Asato ma sadgamaya, tamaso ma jyotirgamaya, mrutyorma amritangamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Nanu nanembudu nanalla, ideha manabuddhi nanalla, Sachidanandatma Shivananu nane, Shivoham, Shivoham, Shivoham. Lokaha samastaha sukhino bhavantu. Lokaha samastaha sukhino bhavantu. Lokaha samastaha sukhino bhavantu. Harihi Om Tat Sat. Shri Krishna Arpanamastu. So the shloka is also Asatoma Sadgamaya, exactly what we are doing. We are going from Asat to Sat. Tamosoma Jyotir. In understanding, we are changing our understanding. And Mrutyoma Amrutam Gamaya, there is nothing to go. We are always Amruta only, but we think we have Mrutyu. So all these wrongs are being righted. So nice. Thank you all so much, because the platform would be very empty without all of us, right? So each and every person here is a blessing. Thank you so much.
Without our coordinator, we have nothing.
Yes.
Absolutely.
You.
Some other coordinator, you, Madam Nirmala ji, you can become coordinator. Are?
No.
Each one of us can become. That is what it is. Are? We can all do it. All right. Thank you so much.